rock. Let's get into a little bit of metal. We're going to be joined by our guest right now, and joining us right now is Jesyka from Syka. What's going on, Jesyka?
Hey, how's it going?
We're doing good. Thanks for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it, and we finally got you on, so we're excited about it.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. In a little while, after we're done talking to Jesyka, we're going to play Syka's newest single, "Shock Me." Really looking forward to that. We've been listening to it a lot here. We absolutely love it. So, first question, I'll just throw it out to you right now. "Shock Me's" out. It's roaming around various radio circuits. It's all over YouTube. What has the feedback been from the fans of Syka, as well as from people who didn't know who Syka was before after you guys released "Shock Me"?
The feedback's been excellent. We released the record back in July, and it was a major step up for us just creatively. Just coming from like where we came from and then making this record the way we did, it was very apparent to our fans like the big leap that we made. So it's gotten really excellent feedback. That's
great. Yeah, we love it here. We've been actually pre-show we were just blasting it. So it's really an amazing song. You have a really phenomenal voice. We were just talking about our top 5 female front women in rock and metal. And Jeff just threw it out there and said, just like Jesyka coming on the show, she's got one of those voices where you can just see it just skyrocketing, and she could be one of the greats one day. You just have that presence, and it really shows in "Shock Me." So it's a great single for our listeners. Yeah, check it out on YouTube. It's such a great thing. Your background is in musical theater and classical. How did you get into rock? How did you get to be who you are right now?
It's been a long journey. I mean, I started singing when I was very young. I was 6 when I started like professional lessons. I knew when I was young. I was like, I'm gonna be a singer. Just knew. And I started taking piano, classical piano, jazz a bit too when I was about 11. And I got really heavy into musical theater. So my background, I came from always wanting a show. It was all about the show all the time, the singing, the dancing, the acting. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, when I was very young, also my dad, I was brought up on a lot of Sabbath, on a lot of Zeppelin, like all the greats, and so that was also like in my roots, in my blood before I didn't really even know it, until I got a bit older and I started going to more concerts and stuff, and so there was a point though, I was an early teenager, and there was a point where I was like, I had this thought, I was like, no, I don't want to do this theater thing anymore. Like, I don't know. I was like, I need to be doing instead of putting my time into everybody else's show, I want my own show. So yeah. I started writing all the time. And I started writing just like I had an acoustic guitar and, I had my piano skills, and I wasn't really writing a lot of rock stuff. It was more just like acoustic pop stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was a very different person, and I wasn't getting really like the feedback that I wanted from people. I wasn't really getting the correct attention, so I kind of snapped and like started wearing fishnets and like 4-inch heels and like eyeliner, and I was like, this music's not who I am. I need to be something else. So I just evolved myself into this person that I felt like was truly my rebel heart, Yeah. And I kind of when I started really going there and really singing like a lot of the rock stuff, getting into the rock scene was about really my like more rebellious heart and like the attitude, and like it was just like my mentality, That's like really what got me there more than the music even, It was more about just the message that I wanted to put out into the world. So then I started going really crazy, and people were like, whoa, you're going completely psycho, and that's where the name Syka came from.
Yeah. That's great. And now, was that like a complete shock to your family coming out of classical and musical theater when all of a sudden they turn around and you're wearing fishnets and you're just, rocking, the eyeliner and the dark mascaras and everything?
Yeah, well, it was, I guess, more so my mom than my dad. I mean, they both they were both like made in the 80s, kind of thing. they lived that whole 80s lifestyle, so they, like, I don't know, I guess they weren't too surprised. It was surprising, though. It was, I mean, like, for me to go from a very, like, strict theater background and then, you know, they used to have to come to all my theater shows and everything, and, like, you know, and so actually they were kind of relieved when I think when I actually got out of that scene and I, like, you know, I started doing the rock stuff, so they didn't have to really go to the theater shows anymore. I think some of those shows really killed them, like, but yeah.
Do they come to your shows now, and how did that go?
Oh yeah, I mean they've been to so many shows by this point that it's like, you know, it's just a regular thing that I do. So they don't come to every single show, but yeah, they do come to the bigger shows here and there. So
great, that's awesome. You know, I've spoken to you, I've spoken to Greg, I've spoken to Gino, and you know, pretty much everybody else in the band over Twitter for quite some time now. You guys seem to be just one of those bands that really adore your fans. You guys are just so outgoing on Twitter. You talk to everybody. You follow them back. When you were forming the band, was that something that you and Greg planned on, to be just one of those bands that just really wanted to give back to the fans all the time?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a really humbling thing, because you kind of start from nothing, and then you get that one fan, you get that one person that's like, that really goes crazy over you, and you're like, wow, you know, well, I'm gonna really give back. And then one fan turns into 5, and then 5 turns into 10, and you're like, oh my God. So it's a very humbling thing, and yeah, I mean, I guess we didn't really plan on it from the start, but I think it's just kind of in our nature. So
yeah, no, that's great. You know, and talking about getting big, you have 2 shows coming up. One's right around the corner from Jeff and I, actually, in Sellersville, Pennsylvania, on March 13th at the Sellersville Theater. And you're opening for John 5, who is just absolutely amazing. If nobody knows who John 5 is, he's Rob Zombie's guitarist. How did that come about, and how insanely psyched are you guys to be playing with John 5 that night?
We played with John 5 once before at Gramercy Theater in New York. So his show was phenomenal. It's, you know, it's a lovely time. But yeah, that show came about. We're working with a booking agency called Strong Arm Entertainment, and it was actually funny. We played a show at the Revolution Bar. Was it? Yeah, it was Revolution Bar up in Long Island, and there was the booking agent from the company, Matt Ferrara. He was in the audience, and it was a very, like, sparse audience, but he saw our show, and he was just absolutely blown away, and then started booking all these shows for us. So that's how we ended up booking that show. So
that's great. That's great. Yeah, when we saw that it was going to be around the corner from us, we were like, oh, wow, look at that. We got to go. So
yeah,
we'll be going.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And also on March 25th, you know, I'm from New York City, so you're playing at my old stomping grounds at the Highline Ballroom. Who are some of the bands that you guys are playing with on the bill that night?
We're playing with the band Max Sabbath. That's who we're opening for. And I think there's another opening band. I think they're called the U.S. Americans. I saw that just today. So it should be a good night.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a good night. So to our listeners here, March 13th, Sellersville Theater in Sellersville, Pennsylvania. March 25th at the Highline Ballroom in New York City. You got to check them out. We watched the video for Shock Me today. It's incredible video. We truly enjoyed it here. What was it like to make that video for you guys? Because it's a pretty cool and singing video.
Thank you. Well, the entire Stay Wild experience was absolutely incredible. We had the wonderful opportunity to work at the Manhattan Center. We're artists at the Manhattan Center, which if you know the Hammerstein Ballroom, it's that entire building. So we're artists with Manhattan Center Productions, their company, and so we recorded the entire record in one of their studios called the Log Cabin Studios there. It was a wonderful experience recording the record there, because we wrote everything in studio, we recorded everything live. It was like old school, like the old school way to make a record. It was like one of the best experiences. So then when it was time to record the video, Manhattan Center Productions they pulled together such a great crew for us, and we filmed in the building, all over the building. So we had the entire building basically at our disposal to use. So we recorded, like, the live shots were all done on the Hammerstein Ballroom stage. We did some stuff in the Grand Ballroom stage, and we did stuff like in all of like the kind of dark hallways and like creepy corners of the building, which was really cool. It was really such a fantastic process. So.
Yeah, no, it's an incredible video. So what's next for you and the band? Is there a new album coming? Are you in the middle of doing something? What projects are coming up for you guys?
Well, we are we're writing a shit ton of songs right now. Like,
you can say, go ahead.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I was like, is this internet radio? Okay.
Yeah, you're good to
go. Okay, cool. We're about like 20 songs deep into a new record right now. I mean, we're not going to obviously release 20 songs, but we've been in the serious creative zone right now. So we've been, the shows haven't, normally we play a lot of shows, and we're kind of like always posting stuff online. Like, we're always kind of like around, but we kind of, at least I've been very kind of off the map recently, just because of like the creative zone that we've been in, and kind of like the serious creative space my brain's in. So it's kind of good to just like fall off the map for a second and go there for real,
Yeah. Well, we're definitely looking forward to that. Not many people remember this. I do, because I'm a New Yorker, and I'm a huge New York Knicks fan. And it's funny because I saw this on YouTube. I know you know where I'm going with this. You know where I'm going with this. And the funny part is, I remember seeing this happen years ago. And this is before your rock phase. Yeah, I remember seeing. As soon as I saw the video, I said, "Oh my God, I remember this." So I'm not sure if I was at that game, because I used to work in sports media and I used to go to a lot of games. So I wasn't sure if I was there or if I saw it somehow on TV. But you sang at Madison Square Garden in front of thousands of fans before your rock. You did a little cover of Love Song.
Yeah. Yes.
How was that?
That's awesome.
How was that?
So awesome that you bring that up. Oh my God.
Yep.
Okay.
I remembered it. It was so funny that when I went to go watch Shock Me, it just happened to be a little blurb in the corner, and it said, Jesyka singing Love Song for the New York Knicks fans at Madison Square Garden. So I said, what? And I clicked it, and of course it's you, but it's a young you. Yeah. And I remembered it.
That's amazing. That, of all the interviews I think I've ever done, that's the most amazing thing I've ever heard. That's amazing. Yeah, so I was like, Little Me. This was like acoustic jazz time. It was like I was like freshman in high school. I landed this audition to do this like New York Knicks Kids Talent Search thing. Mm-hmm. So I go to the audition. There's like a million kids there or whatever, and I went in with my piano and I sang, I think, a song that I had written at the time, and they chose me to sing center court at the Knicks game. And so here I am. I'm like telling all my friends, like freshmen in high school, like, guys, I'm singing at the Garden. They're like, what? Garden? So I remember, like, I practiced so much. I mean, I had to like cut down the song. It was like, I don't know, it was like maybe a 40-second feature or something, or like minute feature, whatever it was. But I was practicing like 5 hours a day, like serious, just 6 hours a day, whatever, like just on the piano part and making sure like I had it down perfectly. And so that was a very big moment, and there's been a lot of moments like that in my life where like just these things pop up and you're like, wow, and that was just one of those moments that it was like wow, like I'm like 14 and I'm like, here I am at the Garden. So now it's been like the journey almost back to the Garden in a new way. But that's really amazing phenomenal. That you bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, that's phenomenal. You played the Mecca. Not only have you played the Mecca, but you're on MTV as well on Copycats. So that's
yeah. That was also the thing. I was like, I have goals that I envision, and one of the things that I really had wanted to do was be on national television, and it was the first time I headed out to LA on my own. I was also like younger, it's like maybe 18, 19 or whatever. So I just headed out to LA and I did my TV thing, and that was also a really, really cool experience. So.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. But like I said, when I saw you at the Knicks game, it really just hit me in the head, and I remembered it so vividly, and I was like, oh, I have to bring that up somewhere. Talking to her at the end, I have to bring it up, and I'm glad you find it funny, and you're not saying I don't want to talk about it. So.
Oh no, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Yeah, wow. I can't believe you remember that. Wow.
Yeah.
And like I still have a clear memory of like all the backstage at the Garden and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, I just went to see Sabbath at the Garden a couple of nights ago, and that was the first time I had been to the Garden since that day. So I was like, whoa, it was a weird thing, but
that's crazy. Yeah. Many years later, and you're back a completely different person. So that's pretty cool. So I like that. That's really good. Before I let you go, Twitter last week, I put it up there. We had the rock band on with us, Adrenaline, really popular band. They just came off of Rover Fest with, unfortunately, rest in peace to Scott Weiland, Andrew WK, Seven Dust. Mm-hmm. And I said it to Adrenaline, I'm going to say it to you. I think you guys complement each other so well, music-wise. You guys got to get together and go on a tour.
Oh, yeah, I thought you did post that, yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
I did. I'm going to keep posting it until it happens because I think that would be probably one of the kick-ass tours if it ever happened. So.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
We got to get that in the works.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Imagine if that got together, then it'd be all you.
Hey, I'm all for that. So, Jesyka, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to play your single right now. Once again, March 13th at the Sellersville Theater in Sellersville, Pennsylvania. You're opening for John 5, and then on March 25th in New York City at the Highland Ballroom. Jesyka, thank you for joining us. We got to get you back on real soon.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
And that was Jesyka from the rock band Syka. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to play their semi-new single. It's called Shock Me. So we're going to play it right now. Jeff, you're not allowed to drum along to it.
No drumming. No drumming today.
Here we go. Shock Me by Syka.
Out of my control, power
There you go. That Shock Me by Syka. How kick-ass, man. Seriously, Jess has just a wonderful voice. Wonderful voice, man. Great guitarist. Gino, man, the band, unbelievable band. You really got to go see them. If you're in the Pennsylvania area on March 13th, like I said, Sellersville Theater in Sellersville, Pennsylvania. They're going to be opening for John Fye, Rob Zombie's guitarist, and that's going to be such a kick-ass show, man. We're going to try to be there, Jeff and I, but it doesn't look like we can make it, unfortunately. And then on March 25th, they're going to be playing at the Highline Ballroom in New York City. So if you have the chance to catch Syka, go see them. Seriously, what a great band, man. What a great song. Shock Me. Unbelievable.
Great song. She's a great interview. Yeah.
She really is. Great interview, great person. Yeah. And Jess, if you're still listening, I loved your performance at Madison Square Garden. Seriously, it's so cool that I remember that, because as soon as I saw the video and as I told Jessica, it just blew my mind. I was like, oh my God, I remember watching this. I can't, like I said, I can't remember if I was there covering a game or just even there watching the game, because as if nobody knew, I worked in sports media, and this used to be a heavily sports themed radio show here. Yeah, it really blew my mind. So it was so cool that, to see something like that full circle, somebody, a 13, 14-year-old kid singing Love Song at Madison Square Garden during a kid's talent show, and now pretty much, in an up-and-coming, one of the most popular bands going right now. So really cool stuff, man. It's great.